Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Squid Prince, and today I want to share with you a Weavile set that I have been working on, primarily for UU. You could use it in OU, but this set is more based on a UU team. Now, the first thing that you may see is that I'm actually going to be running an Adamant Nature over Jolly. Now, the reason for this is I wanted the most power I could get out of this set, so I want to be running Adamant. I want all the EVs in there, just because I want this set to hit as hard as it can and not, be slowed down by a Jolly Nature, when all that speed, in my opinion, is not actually necessary. So now, speaking of the EVs, I want I want to max out my attack, obviously, and my speed EVs, instead of having base 125, because it's kind of in like a limbo area where anything that's base 130 is going to outspeed it anyway, and there's pretty much like a gap, because the next fastest thing underneath of Weavile is Halucha, which is base 118, which it wouldn't even matter if it gets the Unburden boost because it would outspeed, and then it would be Ambipom and Shinshino, which would be base 115s. So depending on what you would like to outspeed, you can change the speed EVs up to pretty much a base 116, so you'd have to figure out what a max speed Ambipom or Chinchino would run and see what their stat is, and then just slide that little bar up to whatever it is to make it base 116. But the spread I'm running is just to outspeed anything that's base 100, because most threats are around base 100. UU, a couple things like Durant would be base 109 if he even is or ends up being UU, but he is a chance he'll come up. Mega Manetrike before it Mega evolves is base 105, but after it does that, it would be base 135, so he would outspeed anyway. So I figured all that speed wouldn't be necessary, so let's throw whatever's left into HP. Now, the HP stat it's like and the special defense stat is, it's alright. It's not, the greatest out there, and its regular defense stat is actually, pretty bad. But I figured a little bulk never hurt anybody. So I figured if I could do that, I could probably live a hit, get a Night Slash off, and then clean up with my priority. Which it has worked for me. I have done that in battles before. People like, oh my god, it lived a move. Like, yes, surprisingly, with enough HP investment, it does have a little bit of bulk to live a hit, which is good because I'll be outspeeding most threats anyway. And hopefully with a little bulk, I can outspeed priorities, hopefully such as bullet punches, quick attacks, maybe not mock punches unless I have like a Choppleberry. But that's pretty much why the EVs are the way they are. Now, I do want to get into the ability. I did want to run Pickpocket just in case by some chance, say my Lumberry was used up, and I get hit with a physical move, say U-turn, I would take that item. So whatever was U-turning me, say it's Scarfed, I would now have an Adamant Scarfed Weavile that could limit it in my move choice, but now I'd be able to outspeed everything that was, done before, and I'd also take the Scarf away from whatever his Scarfer was. But I don't know, if you don't feel comfortable relying on the Pickpocket ability on living a physical attack, pressure works just as well. Also, now I will get into the item of the Lumberry. Now, the reason I did want to run Lumberry is because when most people that I've seen with my testing, is the way they deal with Weavile is either they will Will-O-Wisp, they will T-Wave, they will toxic if they don't have Will-O-Wisp or T-Wave, or they will use priority. So I figured, say something comes in and goes for a Will-O-Wisp. For example, we will use specially defensive Sableye. So first turn, they go for Will-O-Wisp, they hit. We get cured for the Lumberry, and then we Night Slash. I'm not sure what the real calculations are, so don't quote me, but this is just an example. Say our Night Slash does about 80%. No critical hit, just straight 80%. Now, since we do outspeed with our base 101 EV spread that we gave it, we would still outspeed the Prankster because they're both at +1, and our speed is faster than the Sableye speed. So you would be able to take it out with an Ice Shard. Even if it wanted to go for like Recover or whatever it was, because if you would go for a normal attack, we would outspeed it, and we outspeed the priority as well. So that would be a huge pain in the ass that would be out of your way from the beginning of the battle. But unfortunately, I don't know if a Night Slash would do up to 80% on especially defensive Sableye, or because I don't think they would run defensive because it would have Will-O-Wisp. But that is not the case because we're not doing a moveset on Sableye. Now I'll finish up with going through the moves. The moves that I've chosen are Ice Shard because priority is always useful. Like, I don't know, I personally would use Ice Shard over Ice Punch or Ice Skull Crash because priority is priority. Anyone that plays Pokemon knows how useful priority can be. Other moves I would want to use would be Night Slash as a good strong stab. And for UU, I did choose to go with Brick Break as my filler or my coverage move because it hits more things super effectively in UU than, say, Poison Jab would. Now, Poison Jab would be my second pick because without Poison Jab, this set is pretty much walled by fairies. Just because Ice Shard wouldn't be enough to OHKO it if it was at full health, or, you'd have to do prior damage with the rest of your team, and then, excuse me, and then clean up with Ice Shard at the end. But when I was looking at like the Limbo charts of Pokemon on Showdown, I saw that Poison Jab would only help me against fairies, and Brick Break would, more or less help me against other dark types, such as Mega Absol, Bisharp, just to name a few. Also, you could run Shadow Claw if you wanted to hit the Gardevoir. I have seen a couple Gallades running around, because you wouldn't really want to hit a Gallade with a Night Slash because you would give it the unjustified boost, and then he'd probably just Drain Punch you anyway and get a +1 and all his health back. You could also run Retaliate if you wanted a revenge kill. And once again, if you didn't want to rely on priority, there is Ice Punch and Ice Skull Crash. And also there is Beat Up if you didn't want to go with Night Slash. But this has been the Weavile set I've been using. I hope you guys use it. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.